Hi, I'm Mike Van Cleve, Realtor with Mike Van Cleve team at RE/MAX Traders Unlimited. And I am an expert in real estate here in the greater Peoria area, providing clients with the information, resources, and counsel to make a great decision when it comes to buying or selling real estate.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy Heiple. I'm a lawyer here in Peoria. One of our areas of concentration is estate planning. We help people with things like wills and trusts and powers of attorney. And then we help families later when those documents need to be carried out. Look forward to seeing you at Mike's seminar on March 7th.
Thank you so much for agreeing to sit down with me in preparation for our upcoming estate planning seminar on March 7th. I have some questions prepared for us that I thought we would go through and just kind of give people an idea of what they could expect on March 7th.
Absolutely.
We often think about estate planning being something that only wealthy people do. Who else needs a will?
So there is a really easy answer. My general advice is you don't need a plantation to have a plan, right? Everybody needs to have a will. Talk to anyone who sees what happens when families don't have this stuff done. Everybody needs a will. But by having a will in place, you have decided who's in charge and where things are going, and with the proper document, that's going to happen. And now instead of having family dysfunction spill over and have all this legal stuff superimposed on top of it, we actually have some legal tranquility as things get worked out properly.
It's not an expensive process. Can you talk briefly about kind of what somebody could expect from, something like a basic will preparation cost?
Yeah, not a costly exercise with our office. Now, I will say, some of my colleagues, I think, must do what I call the billfold biopsy. So they stick a needle in the wallet and see what they think they can get away with. That's not how it works here. So for the typical couple to get the fundamental documents in place, either a will or a living trust, depending which one's the right vehicle, and a healthcare power of attorney and a property power of attorney, to get that basic set of documents in place would range perhaps somewhere from $850 to maybe $1,000, depending on what we're needing to do. But it's not some thousands, plural, of dollars to get that accomplished.
Thinking about some of the kind of difficulties that happens when somebody passes, there's a lot of emotion involved. What do you see being the biggest hurdle that people face in thinking about estate planning or preparing a will?
So there's really a couple things, both psychological really at their core. One is people do not like to think about dying, right? And so the idea, the myth is, oh my, if I get my affairs in order, that means I'm going to die. No, there is no connection between you got your plan done and that caused you to pass. That's not how it works. Having your plan done or not, there's a day on a calendar we can't see, circled in red, and when that day shows up, it had nothing to do with whether your documents were done. The other one, though, is really just basic procrastination. I think a lot of folks live in the world of good intentions. One of these days they do want to get around to getting this stuff done. They've probably made a resolution a few years in a row of, I want to get this thing done. But then life gets busy, other things are in the way, and they just don't get around to it. So those are really the barriers I see with folks.
What are some of the myths or misconceptions that you'd like people to understand?
So that's the benefit of the seminar, is we're going to have an opportunity to sit down and explain first some of the jargon. What are these words that are floating around? What do they mean? People talk about trusts or living trusts and all that sort of thing. And so I basically give them some good understanding of what are the fundamental documents they need to have, what are the operative terms they should be thinking about, and sort of demystify all of that. But then I walk them through what would be the best path for you, give them some examples and some illustrations. The real resource for the folks who come to the seminar is you've got a thing that doesn't normally exist, a free lawyer, right, who's here to answer your questions and give you some concrete recommendations in a setting that it didn't cost you anything other than your time to come and be a part of the class.
Excellent. So if this information was useful to you, I encourage you to join us on March 7th at the RE/MAX Traders Unlimited office located at 3622 North Knoxville in Peoria at the corner of War Memorial and Knoxville, and you're going to want to enter going northbound from Forest Hill towards War Memorial. You can sign up at mikevancleve.com/estate, and that website will be linked below.